Charlie O'Donnell, Chairman of the Donegal County Board, county final on Sunday. It has to be a big day in your book.
Big day for everybody, big day for all the girls in the county. It's where everyone wants to be on county final day at McCool Park. Very interesting pairing this year between Ardara and Sean Mac Cumhaills. Sean Mac Cumhaills, a great old club. Ardara looking for another final result, another. They want to grab the Dr. Maguire Cup again. I'm sure Sean Mac Cumhaills will be putting it up to them because, as you know, Sean Mac Cumhaills had a huge battle with Kilcar to get through to beat Kildare then as well in the semi-final. So they're well prepared. Ardara, as you know, battling against St. Eunan's, Glenties. They came up probably the difficult route as well. So it's looking to be a great county final, and I hope that the weather is good on that day and that we will have a good county final.
Damien Dever, you're the team captain. Must be a great honour to captain Ardara in the final.
It is. I think to captain your club at any stage, is a big honour, but the fact we got to the final this year makes it even extra special, to be honest. With league, your hometown, especially the players that you played along with, there's no old men in that team anymore. It's all boys that you grew up with, and you know each other so well throughout. And the young players playing again this year now, and it's nice, it's nice to give them a wee bit of encouragement now too.
This is your first time, Damien, to captain Ardara in the final.
It is. We won the Gaeltacht back in '98, and that was the last time I was captain back then. But hopefully maybe we've a lot carries on with us this year too.
What's the buzz like in the club?
Pretty good now, very good. The town's starting to pick up this year again now. In 2000 it was covered in green and gold, and this week now you can just start seeing the buzz getting back into the supporters and the players again now.
You're going to be installed as favourites. How do you cope with that, the fact that your favourites coming to the final?
Well, it's something that you're stuck on you, and you can't help that, but at the end of the day, you wouldn't want to go and play McCool's in the first round of the championship down in their home patch, and then when it comes to the final, it's even worse again,
Sean Mac Cumhaills, you're the captain of McCool's on Sunday, going into a county final. It has to be a great thrill, a great buzz for a young fella like you.
Oh, it definitely is. It's well documented. It's 27 years since we last won the county final, and as from a personal level for myself, it's a great pride to lead them into the county final. It's been too long for a club of our size, but it's not only for myself, but the players and the people around Valbofay, just to see the light in some of their faces. It's been a great honour.
Is this your first year as captain?
No, it's a third spell as captain now. 2 years under Bretton DeLevy and 1 year under Ciarán McShea.
Larry, we're coming to the county final just a few days away. What's the feeling like in Ardara?
Well, the buzz is starting to get up now, Fonzie. Last week was fairly low-key, but this week now we're in the week leading into the county final, and the excitement's starting to build up, and we're looking forward to it immensely.
Levy, the McCool's team manager, you're in the first county final for 25 years. There must be a great buzz in based on Ardara.
There certainly is, a team in an area with such a great tradition in Gaelic football and in the county and in county championships in the 60s and indeed in the 70s, and it's a long wait to get back to a county final, Fancy, but finally we're here.
You've got a bit of a fright against Four Masters in the second leg in Ardara. Do you think that was a wake-up call for you?
It certainly was. We were well and truly beaten by Four Masters down in Pierce Memorial Park in Kentucky and Ardara, and it was the kick on the backside that we needed to get. And we came out a better team in the third game against them.
Are you confident for Sunday?
Well, we're quietly confident. You have to go into a county final with a certain degree of confidence, otherwise, you give up the ghost. But we're quietly confident. But it's going to be a tough struggle. McCool's are there in merit. They beat a very fancy Kildare team, and they're there in merit, and we know it'll be a struggle. But we'd be quietly confident. McCool's be confident too.
John McConnell, the team manager, there's your first year as team manager. How did you get the job, John, first? Can I ask you?
Well, really, Fonzie, Patrick and Johnny D had been in the job between them this last 3 or 4 years, and both men decided to take a break this year, so I was asked to get on the job, and I suppose I've been looking forward to get on the job at some stage. I didn't probably realise that it would come as quick, but I've enjoyed myself, I have to say, and it's a big difference from underage football, but I'm getting a good buzz out of it now, and I'm enjoying it so far.
What's the mood like in the McCool's camp, Brendan?
The mood is, I suppose, that really we haven't achieved anything yet. I think that is very much the mood. And last year we were bitterly disappointed being beaten by a Termon side, and fair play to Termon, but it was just an incredible, I suppose, sequence of events that led to our defeat that day. And I think that there's a resolve among the players, especially, a resolve not to leave this one behind us, to give it our very best, and whatever transpires after that.
Does it put an extra bit of pressure on the team, maybe playing at home?
Not at all, no. When you say maybe extra supporters, I don't think we'll have extra supporters. I think Ardara is a well-supported side. We've seen them throughout the years. It'd be great if our supporters go out in force for Sunday, but no, Ardara's played in it lots of times this year, and they'll be well used to it. But for us, hopefully it will be a good omen for us to play in our own pitch on Sunday.
What's the mood like among the players?
I suppose we're just after the Ardara game. There's great jubilation within the camp, but we're soon brought down to earth again on Tuesday night under Michael McGeehan, our trainer, and we're just ready now, getting ready, and we're keeping focus on the game, and that's it.
Our first match against Formasters, we won that game in Donegal Park, was probably the most important one we had today, because it put Formasters under that bit of pressure, and even though they were too strong for us in the playoff or the second match in Kentucky, we still had to get our claws, and we were able to lift it for the third day again. And so, Glenties as well obviously was a dangerous game for us after the Formasters match, because against your local neighbours is always a difficult match, and we were glad to get out of that one, because Glenties are always tough to beat in the championship, and on a bad day in Townie we managed to sneak through in the end, even though it was only the last 10 minutes that we got on top. But beating St Unions was obviously a good one for us, but on the day, a terrible evening in McCool Park. It could have went either way, so we've got the rub of the green in that, and at times, and we've played some good football, but we haven't probably blitzed anyone on the way so far, so that's probably a good thing in one way. So we have our feet on the ground, and hopefully we'll be able to stay that way for the final.
And in my own case, I'm particularly delighted for myself and my own family, for three of my own family participating there, Brenton, Joe and Gary, and myself as chairman is something unique for me. So on that note, I'm particularly delighted, and for Brenton Dunleavy there too, that has been there for a long time and was the last man to get a medal.
Charlie, before the county final, getting people for gates, getting stewards, a lot of headaches.
On the day there'll be 16 gate people. Now 10 of those people will be working throughout the whole season with me, because any day you have a game, no matter where it is, you need in the region 8 to 10 people. We'll have 16 people on Sunday. We'll have 105 stewards patrolling inside the ground. And McCool's club will, in addition to that, there'll be some stewards patrolling outside the ground. It's far away, it's up at the car park, the church car park and all those areas. They have to be marshalled. They've been done in the past and will be done again. It's the commitment that people make to it. And those people will be there at 12:30 on Sunday and will be the last leaving the ground. And in a lot of cases, people that are on gates or outside the ground patrolling won't see the match at all. But to make that commitment and the dedication on their part.
It's 4 years since Ardara won a county championship, 2000. It's 27 actually, since McCool's won the championship. Do you think McCool's will have a greater hunger on Sunday?
Well, certainly. I think I just wrote an article there for a paper last week, and there's three things that's going to win a game, and that's attitude, hunger, and wanting something bad enough. And no doubt McCool's have got that hunger, but I think we can match them in that hunger as well, because at the end of the day, county finals are hard to reach, they're hard to win, and unless you have them three ingredients, you won't win anything anyway. So I would certainly know that McCool's will definitely be up for the match. It's a long time for a club like McCool's, was such a proud tradition as McCool's would have, not to be there. And no doubt they'll not be lacking hunger or commitment, and likewise Ardara will be the same.
Rory Doherty, you've just completed 13 years as county secretary. This is the first year that you've seen your club, McCool's, reach a county final. It must give you a great thrill.
Absolutely, fancy indeed. Every year when you're planning a county final, and because the last thing maybe you think of is the actual match, because you have so much of other organising to do and all that. But it was something special this year when we were going through all the organising and that. At least McCool's is there this year, and as you say, at first year as county secretary, and it is something special, even though unfortunately as county secretary I have to be impartial. I can't be shown to have leanings to one side or the other. But my hope for Sunday is that first and foremost we would have a very good day, and we would have a good weather forecast, and we would have a very good match. And obviously, I would have my allegiance to my own club, the McCool's club as well. Hopefully it'll be a good match.
Peter Campbell, you're just the newly appointed sports editor of the Donegal Democrat. Could we congratulate you on that? But Leading into a county final, Peter, a lot of work for you.
Well, certainly, but I suppose it's nice work to be getting coming into a county final. It's something that we look forward to every year in the Democrat, because there is extra work. But the one thing I think that makes a county final for us is when we have a new team in it. Last year, I think the fresh team was Terman. This year, it's Sean Mac Cumhaills, and it makes it, I suppose, easier to work on when you have something fresh. Because if you had St Eunan's in Ardara, or if you had Ardara in Ardara, it's not as easy, I suppose, to write new things about those teams. But when you have somebody new in it, like Sean Mac Cumhaills, and I think that they have been a breath of fresh air this year.
It's 25 years, Brian, now since that happened, and it's 25 years since the county final. That was our last county final. They're in the county final on Sunday. How do you feel they're going to cope against Ardara?
Well, last year, Francie was there when Terman caught them, you know, on the half, but Terman hit them for 3 or 4 goals before half-time in Tyrconnell Park. I've watched them when we've been training the county team there in McCool Park, and they've prepared very, very well under the tutelage of Brendan Leaf and Mickey McGeehan. And they've a lot of good players, but they're outstanding players, but they're a very strong physical side. And saying that, I've watched Ardara come through the other side of the championship, and they beat a good Donegal town side, and then they beat actually a very fancied St Eunan's side, although they were short of any. But Ardara putting the game well together should make for a very interesting county final. Now, unfortunately, I missed the McCool semi-final, and I was in New York, and so much so that I thought that McCool's were going to be beaten. I didn't even think about phoning home, but it just shows you that Gaelic football's there, and McCool's are good championship campaigners, and hopefully we'll have a very good game, Fonzie, and hopefully the weather will be good to us as well on Sunday.
Two clubs steeped in the GAA tradition, Brian. It has to make it to a good game.
Well, I hope so, Fonzie, and I hope the people in the Finn Valley will turn out in big numbers, because I'd like to see the younger set that haven't really had any success over the last number of years at senior intercounty or at senior club level here turn out in big numbers and support McCool's. Now, I'm not coming down one side or the other, but I would like to see the Finn Valley come out in big numbers and support McCool's, because it's great after 25 years to see a team from Finn Valley back in particular McCool's in the championship final.
Place to be is inside the wire. Do you still get the urge? I'd love to be out there.
Certainly, like, and I would love to be out in Croke Park yesterday, Charlie, if I had my way, like, but certainly, you know, they're big days, like All-Ireland final day is a big day, your own county championship day is a massive big day, and it's a massive big day for your parish, it's a massive big day for everybody involved, like, and I still certainly get that itch, you know, but you just have to stand back and watch them these days.
If you're getting a free bet, where would you put it?
Well, if you were given a free bet, and I don't think anybody's going to give me that, if I was getting a free bet, I would have to put it on Ardara, because they would probably have that little bit more experience going into the final. McCool's have done very well, but I suppose they're an unknown quantity in the final, so whether they can produce it on the day or not. But you know, when you look at like a Damien Differ, he nearly always produces it on a day, and this year he's playing full forward, and it'll be interesting to see what he does in that role. But if I was given a free bet, I suppose I would have to put it on Ardara, but I think it'll be very, very close.
Yeah, it's been a bad year championship-wise for the weather. Been a lot of bad Sundays, bad Saturdays out there. You're hoping for a good day on Sunday. It's really going to make it challenging.
Yeah, funnily enough, we're getting very good weather midweek, and then come Friday night the rain comes in, and we get a bad Saturday, bad Sunday. So hopefully this weekend will be a better, and that it will give the players a chance to express themselves on the biggest stage that they can in the county, and that's in McCool Park on county final day.
Are you confident for Sunday?
Well, we are very happy to be there, and no doubt now it will help us to go out with a good bit of confidence anyhow.
No injury worries, no problems?
No much injury worries. I think everything has been overcome in that line, and so I think we'll be probably feeling a full side.
Will you be on the sideline on Sunday? I normally see you running around.
God,
everything's okay.
As Charlie Cannon said earlier, that the only place to be in county finals day is inside the wire in McCool Park, and no doubt I'll be there. Somebody else will be doing the shops for a change and all.
John Murray. And his partner was Peter Doherty. Right half forward was Fintan Lynch. The centre half forward, Mick Burke, is unable to be here and is represented by Jerry Branston. left half forward on that team and winning his 8th county championship medal like Brian McGuinness was Shane Granahan. No longer with us at right corner forward was the late Seamus O'Reilly, and he is represented by his son Stephen. Also deceased was the full forward of that team, Brendan McHugh, and he is represented by his son Brian. And top of the left on that team was Bosco Mohan. The other members of the panel were Emmett Travers, who is not here, and he is represented by Mickey McMahon. Also on the panel was Michael Corbett. Not with us is Michael Travers, and he is represented by Jim Carr. Another member of the panel was Fred O'Dowd. Also on the panel that day was John Keenahan. Michael Dunn is not here, but he's represented by Ryan Welch. Also on the panel was Daniel Keenahan. Another member of the panel was Jim Gavigan. Also on the panel was John McInniff. We also have John Doherty on that panel. Patrick Carthy is not here, but he's represented by his father, Paddy. The other member of the panel here present is Jerry Weaver. Two members not present are Paul McAvinney and Jude Barnes. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Bundoran team that won the county championship 25 years ago in 1979. We also have with us the referee of that day. He refereed his first Donegal championship final. Would you give a warm welcome to Father Sean Gallagher? Who are the league? Ardara.
Won the semi-final here, and he was the player that we're talking about. And if we remember going back to that semi-final, Kenneth Doherty that day turned the match on a ball that he shouldn't. It wasn't his ball, but he won it by throwing himself.
I remember that.
Yeah, and that turned that whole game. So the big time, having Brendan Boyle in the middle of the field, that battle with Michael McGinty and Maurice Lafferty, and there's going to be a big battle. You even look at the minor game, the midfield was an important area. It is an important area in Gaelic football, and that makes a difference. You know, winning the ball in that area. So that battle there is going to be interesting. But you know, it's an interesting one, and you know, the most important thing from a neutral point of view is will we get any country players out?
Well, that's a good question.
That's the most important thing, Charlie, and that's what we want. I know conditions not good for that, but days like this show leadership and that kind of stuff, and that's what you need. That's the kind of players that we want. So expect, say, the likes of Paddy McNulty, you know, to lead for McCool's. You know, it'll be interesting to see even Conor Dowd, Shane Duffy had a good match the last day. You know, it'll be interesting to see how they performed.
Yeah, I was just looking at that half-back line of McCool's, Shane Duffy, Conor Dowd and Shane McNulty. And we know how much loose ball there nowadays around that area, Martin, and the people who are prepared to go in, as you mentioned there about Kenneth Doherty, you know, diving in. But I mean, that half-back line are going to have to control that area. You know, if McCool's are going to have a better than even chance of winning it.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be an important one. It's Shane Duffy, and just to see that somebody's told here that
Peter Campbell's just for passing.
Francis Dubbard's on for Stephen Kildare.
Yeah.
Listen, that's just going to play with the Carneys and that's your midfielder. Will they going to play with the two-man full forward line and Roman back out the field, or will they maybe push Peter McHugh into the corner and put and Rome or say Francis Dubbard at wing half forward, because he plays in natural midfielder. So it's very interesting to see what they do with that there. But yeah, going back to that half-back line is going to be very important. And again, they have this half-back line has improved with every game. And you know, I just heard, I was chatting with respectively Liam McAvaney. I was talking to him the last day after the match. I was just mentioning I was very impressed with Shane Duffy. He said that Mickey won a great time for Duffy. He reckoned that Duffy was going to make a county player when he was here. He had him in the under 21 squad. So you know, that doesn't win that there. But that half back is going to be important, because you normally would figure out that Ardara know that they're going to pick up a lot of bricks. So it'll be important from McCool's point of view that they can pick up bricks.
Interesting, and as you say, Francis Dubbard coming in there for Stephen Kildare, and of course Kevin Keegan McCormick starting instead instead of Brendan McLaughlin in the corner for McCool. So both teams just making changes in their full forward line there, which could be significant. And of course, Martin, you know, as you often said, it's a 20-man game now, and the changes, the calls that are made in terms of the changes. I mean, if we look at both benches, there's a lot of strength there as well, and a lot of talent in both teams.
And when it's used in the switches, that's the reality. At this game, the losing manager will be blamed, and the winning manager will be a hero.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it very interesting, Charlie, at the under-21 match yesterday. The three Mayo men stood together on the line, like Hale, Golden and Mahon together on the line, where Armagh had only two men on the line. And one of them was on walkie-talkie all the time. I think it was to Colin Marley and Joe Kieran in the stands. And, you know, I think it is better. You know, I would even say if I was manager of a team now in a 25, I would actually try to get a man up here and get him up there, because that's where you see it better from, and you know, you see it from there better. You know, different teams are using different things now. You know, tactics. Teams actually listen to pundits on radios talking, or televisions are using dressing rooms at half time. And people have, I know managers that would have maybe a person at home watching television and picking things up. You know, it's just different, because that's the important one, is making the right switch, and everybody looks at it differently. So the more people you have, you know, doing that, because I've always said as a manager, it's just somebody giving you an idea, throwing an idea, because the manager's hyped up enough himself. He's enough on his player. He needs people telling him that, and they give him this idea and say, well, then you make the decision then if it's right or wrong.
Okay, we're going to take a short break. Both teams continue to warm up here. We're about 7 or 8 minutes away from throw-in time. Plenty of other sporting action, of course, throughout the northwest and further afield. Miles will be keeping you right up to date with that. The final today brought to you in association with Jackson's Hotel here in Ballybofey. So thanks to Barry Jackson and the staff for their support. Ardara versus McCool's coming up live here on Sunday Sport on Highland Radio very shortly. But for the moment, we'll head back to the studio.
Look at the Taliban ahead.
Shannon man, Seamus McGonigal is the referee this year. Letterkenny-based Garda, of course, an experienced man, a man who likes to let the game flow, Martin, and has a big role to play.
Charlie is, I think he refereed one of the Kilcar-Macrunes game. He refereed the Macrunes semi-final, now he's refereeing Macrunes in the final. You know, he is a good referee, and you know, but it's just an interesting one that he's actually ref. This will be the third time that he's actually ref Macrunes, you know, so he's probably getting to know them well. But he's a very, he's a very good referee, and I think he's had a good year, and you know, deserves the county final. But you know, just something
interesting. I was talking to him actually before he went to ref the third game between Kilcar and Macrunes, and I'm not sure he was looking forward. Here we go, and Diver's going to fall forward, and well, Macrunes have it, but they've lost it, and Brendan Boyle drops it in to Damien Diver. Damien Diver loses possession, got a little bit of a push in the back, but the ball was gone anyway. Conor Dowds is held there by Jonathan Boyle. It's going to be a free out, quickly taken out, comes to Ollie Reid. Big game expected from him today. Into Morris Lafferty, another man who needs to have a big game. Early ball in again to Kevin Keegan McCormick. On the move here with his left foot, but he's been tackled well there by Seamus Byrne. But the ball comes out here to Shane Duffy. Shane Duffy plays it up the line. Eamon Doherty just overran the ball. It's picked up there by Bernard McGuinness. Another late introduction, and McGeehan, excuse me. Interesting, Martin, that's another late change Macrunes have made, and you made the point that Bernard McGeehan and Kevin McCormick significant when they were introduced in the semi-final.
Yeah, and sometimes players are better coming off the bench. And you do, we talked about before in the 20-man bench. I mean, Kerry left, Michael Frank, Russell, Seaman Moynihan on a higher level now. They say, right, you throw it all in, but they've used the two players that made the difference. And sometimes players are better coming into the game, Charlie.
Morris Lafferty got a hand to it but couldn't hold it, but it's picked up there by Michael McGinty. Michael McGinty under pressure from Brendan Boyd, and the referee awarded. In fact, it was Kenneth Doherty, and it's going to be a free. McGinty's going to take it himself. This one's from the 70-metre line. Played to try to play across, but easily put out there by Stephen McHugh. He plays it up the line, looking for Jonathan Boyle. Back to McHugh. Good tackling. That's great play by Macrunes there. And Brendan Durnian has the ball. Plays it off there to Ollie Reid. And a man in oceans of space, and it's McGeehan again. Bernard McGeehan coming forward. Players coming to close him down, steps inside to his left foot, then decides to shoot on his right. That one's going to go wide on the far side. But Martin concerned for Ardara because McGeehan had so much space there when the ball was played forward.
Yeah, it's interesting what happened. Stephen McHugh got the ball, came up the field, who we talked about before, and it's a natural forward. Stephen lost the ball, going up the field, and that's where the incident happened, where McGeehan hadn't actually followed him. Big battle. McGeehan's very, very strong, and eventually with Macrunes maybe even the kick out. Just a couple there, Ardara switches. Diver has gone to full forward, playing actually in a two-man full forward line, inside with Don Early, and they've put Peter McHugh to the 40.
Yeah, Francis Diver out as we expected, but there's a foul by Shane Duffy, and the free, well, seems to be I'm not happy that Macrunes men just running across the line of the ball there. The ball's played forward into the corner now, and Early has it. Don Early, who's so impressive against St Eunan's, won a lot of possession, gets the ball well. He should have given it back to Francis Diver, he didn't. He's cutting inside himself. This is determined play by Don Early. Now he plays the ball forward, but the defenders were there. He was looking for Jonathan Boyd. The Crews did well. Ollie Reid playing a roving role, loses possession, seemed to be held. The ball goes down. The referee says play on. The ball's still on the ground now. It's in the hands of Jonathan Boyd. He shoots and the ball goes wide. And I suppose, Martin, we have to give the players the benefit of the doubt. A lot of handling errors out there. The The pitch, after all the heavy rain, is in pretty tricky condition, but McCool's taking their life in their hands a couple of times there.
One thing you do, you don't pass the ball to a player, especially in your own defence, has been tightly marked as that there. You're better thumping it out the field. Sometimes when we talk about Shane Duffy's been picked up by Francis Divert, and Duffy has actually started well today again at wing half back for McCool's.
Macaulay with a good left foot out it comes Morris Lafferty standing under it. The ball's knocked down, but it's picked up there by Michael Doherty. Michael Doherty gives it off to Brendan Boyle. He plays it into Jonathan, back to Brendan again. Brendan on his left foot shoots across, dangerously across, but it's just going to drift wide on the far side as well. So 2 wides for each team. We've gone 3.5 minutes into the first half here. Our live coverage on Highland Radio Sunday Sport from the county final 2004 between Ardara and McCool's has been brought to you in association with Jackson's Hotel, just over behind the main stand. We actually can see the rooftop of Jackson's Hotel as we look across here, and I'm glad to say that the rain, although it's still ever present here, has eased off considerably. Here's Shane Duffy again, certainly a good start, forced backways, but now he comes round, plays a nice ball out here to Brendan McGeehan. There's a man forward of him, and it's the midfielder Michael McGinty. McGinty going to drop one in, but the defender read that well. Eamon Doherty getting out ahead. He gives it back to Seamus Byrne. Seamus Byrne going to be under pressure. He gets the ball back there to Kevin Byrne. The ball's played out now to the far side to Kenneth Doherty. He plays a quick one forward looking for Damien Diver. Damien Diver goes low, but the ball's robbed from him by Aidan McGinty. Great play by Aidan McGinty. I think the referee's going to throw up the ball, but great defending there with the number 2.
It's interesting, Aidan McGinty, wearing number 2, has gone to full back to pick up Damien Diver, and he won that ball well. I think from a Diver point of view, Charlie, Diver's better facing the ball. He'd be better in the midfield than the half back.
Here comes Peter McHugh. Peter McHugh into Don Early. Don Early turning away from the defender, pushing him away. Strong player in possession. Plays the ball out now to Jonathan Boyle outside the 45. He plays it inside to Hearn. Hearn coming forward, gives it to Doherty. This is Michael Doherty. Michael Doherty turns, drop on in. Eamon Macaulay has it under control, but the ball goes wide off the left hand post again. And Martin, almost 5 minutes gone. It's a good final so far.
It's an interesting way. Five wides, 3 for Ardara, I think, and 2 for McCool's, Charlie, and no score yet. But yeah, the conditions are going in the Vernon. It's committed, and both teams are coming in and working hard. And you'd have to say both defences probably at this stage are on top.
And Ardara with a slight edge maybe at midfield at the moment, particularly in the Brecon ball. Bit of pushing going on off the ball there between Ollie Reid and Kevin Byrne. Nothing too serious. Here come McCool's again. Ball played forward now by Shane McNulty, their team captain, and nicely picked up there. Bernard McGeehan in possession again. He's seen a lot of the ball in early stages. Plays a nice ball inside. This is a chance here for McCool's to open the scoring. A lovely looking shot there, and it's the corner forward, Andrew Boner. First time he's touched the ball in the game, Andrew Boner, but it was a significant contribution. A good pass inside there. The player was on the ground, McGeehan, and Bernard McGeehan's inclusion certainly looks as if it's going to pay off for him.
Yes, Charlie, paying off, and this is the point about playing a defender, an attacker, a good forward in defence. Steve McHugh's not happy when he's been run out of the ball, and McGeehan is definitely our problems there. McGeehan's getting on far too much ball there.
The kick out by Conor Curran coming out to the middle of the park again. Up they go to challenge it. The Brecon ball comes down. Ollie Reid plays a lovely ball forward again. Now there's McCool's have an extra man, but good defending there by Seamus Byrne. Fully committed, and he had to be because well, there would have been big danger if the ball had gone past him. Shane Duffy, ball played in. Ollie Reid picking up a lot of ball. Poor pass on occasion. Reid, former county player, of course, been with McCool's now for several seasons, gives the ball off to McGeehan again. McGeehan launches a ball forward looking for Andrew Boner. Big tall lad, got his hands to it, but it's going to be picked up there by Kevin Byrne. Kevin Byrne gives it out to Michael Doherty, deep inside his own half. Puts it out here to Johnny Hearn, the wing back. He's tackled by Morris Lafferty, fouled by Morris Lafferty. Halfway between the 45 and the 70. Ball played outside there to Kenneth Doherty. He launches it forward looking for Damien Diver. The ball's knocked down, but it's going to be picked up there by Early. Early plays a nice ball into Jonathan Boyle, and a chance for the equaliser. Jonathan Boyle turns, held ball, hits the post and comes across. A let off there from McCool's, but they'll pick up possession in the form of Aidan McGinty. He gives it out to Shane Duffy. Shane Duffy has Ollie Reid inside him, decides to give it to Reid. Reid has players forward of him, decides to go long, launches the ball down, not a good ball. It's easily picked out there by Kevin Byrne. Ollie Reid kicking to the man who should be marking him from one end of the pitch to the other. Byrne now launches one out looking for Damien Diver, and again it's Aidan McGinty with him. McGinty stays off him on this occasion. Ball comes into Don Early. Don Early flicks it off very quickly. Well, the Ardara man got the ball, but he got the tackle at the same time, and the referee says he was fouled. and it's going to be a free in. And
Kenneth Doherty, the midfielder, got forward.
Yeah, good running by him, and I'll tell you what, Martin, credit to both sets of players. They're letting the ball off very quickly here.
Yeah, it's good football so far, good fast football. They both played at the speed. I was just thinking that there, Damien Diver's probably not alone the fittest man in Donegal, he's the fittest man in Ireland, and I was thinking Aidan McGinty, I'd say Diver has got it his hands. They've been running together, he won the first couple of that, if he just maybe wasn't able to get there.
Damien Diver, so mobile and always has been since he came on the scene many years ago as a very young man. Here's another guy who came on the scene a good few years ago now and has made some serious contributions in that time. Jonathan Boyle takes the free and the umpires go for the white flag. The sides are level, 8 minutes gone. It's Ardara 1 point, McCool's 1 point. Both teams have had their share of wides in the opening half as well, but significantly both teams have had plenty of possession and played good open football. McCool still playing with 3 players in attack. Ardara have reduced their attack to just 2 players. Damien Diver and Don Early are furthest forward at the moment. Jonathan Boy slightly withdrawn as we speak. Out it comes to the middle of the park. The breaking ball comes down. There's a bit of holding, but the referee says play on. Peter McHugh has it. Peter McHugh launches it forward to Damien Diver, off quickly to Brendan Boyd. Brendan Boyd giving it into Don Early, but Don Early beaten on this occasion. Referee allows play to continue. Should have been a free out to McCool, I would have thought, but Seamus McGonigal says play on. And there's a bit of holding there, and I thought McCool's were a bit unfortunate there. I thought the defender was fouled, Martin.
Yeah, I think most referees would have given it. I thought it was a free out as well. That he was behind the ball when he was coming out, John, and he fouled the player coming out in the ball. But he gave a free. It was actually young Don Early coming out, and I thought he fouled Joe Dunyan, the referee, and then he's given a free. And it was a difficult kick. But the fact that we talk about free kicks, and the most important thing is getting your first one right. And Jonathan Boyle's got the first one. Like Derek and Neja last Sunday, first one easy free, got it over the bar. Charlie, that makes a big difference to a free taker.
Well, this one's much more difficult. It's only about, if it's 5 paces in from the sideline, that's it. It's on the 14-metre line, so the angle is very, very acute. He's kicking towards the town end. No one at all to worry about here, as the rain has been the problem. But he's killed whatever breeze. Good strike by him, curling in, and it hits the outside of the post. Well, it was a fine effort, Martin McHugh. You'd have been proud of it yourself, but needed to be maybe 18 inches the other way.
Yeah, it's a difficult kick in them conditions. It's very interesting that we've gone, Charlie, 9 minutes, and Jonathan Boyle has hit both posts. The shot he hit the far post, the right post came back, and he's hit the left hand post already.
So 10 minutes as I speak gone, and poor kick out on this occasion, and Brendan Boyle has it. Ardara just with the momentum at the moment. Brendan Boyle given far too much space, but his attempt is a poor one. It goes into the hands of the goalkeeper Eamon McCauley. He gets the ball out to Ollie Reid, been given the freedom of his own half really. Kevin Byrne is not coming forward with him, but it's worked out okay for Ardara because he's intercepted a lot of ball. Johnny Hearn intercepts that one and gives it into Francis Diver, wearing 17, lining out at corner forward, but really playing as an extra midfielder. Both teams with plenty of support in defence. This is Kevin Byrne now, gives it inside here to Kenneth Doherty, just inside the McCool's half. Kenneth Doherty, he launches one forward again, but the defender favoured a good play, gets the ball off here to Shane Duffy. That was Joe Durnian, but Shane Duffy's lost possession, but he gets it back. Well, he was fortunate there, and the ball goes into Dowds. Dowds gives it forward now to Shonny Boyce. Shonny Boyce to Ollie Reid again. Ollie Reid plays it forward here, looking for Andrew Boner. Andrew has it. Andrew gives it inside here, and there's a chance now. It's McGinty coming forward. McGinty hasn't much support, so he plays it out to Keegan McCormick, and he's got Seamus Byrne right there with him, and the ball comes off McCormick. And really,
that was no one supposed to look at the game so far as Ollie Reid factor. He's definitely going too deep because he's end up there. They're playing with the less forward, and he's taking the ball up where I'd have an extra man.
Here's that extra man now. Kevin Byrne coming forward, and he plays it into the corner. Even McGinty just waited there, but the ball's gone inside, and Joe Durnian comes across. It's a strong challenge on Joe Durnian, and I think it was Peter McHugh who was out there. The ball comes out to Damien Diver. Damien Diver gives it inside to Michael Doherty. Michael Doherty on his right foot swings, and that one's going to go wide as well. So Ardara wasteful, Martin.
Went's breaking down. Ardara winning all the ball. He sent Ollie Reid up the field.
A wise move, I think, because it really wasn't working. Ollie Reid was getting onto the ball, but nothing was coming off it. Good play again by Kenneth Doherty. They're certainly having the better of the midfield. Johnny Hearn coming forward. Ardara at the moment much the better team, but that's not reflected in the scoreline. The shot comes in again. Damien Diver. Well, that one goes wide. 6 wides for the Martins. even 12 and a half minutes gone. And we've seen it so often in the past when you're really on top as much as they have been in the last 5 or 6 minutes, you need to be putting scores away.
Exactly it. That's what you need to do. You need to get the scores when you're on top. That's important. And maybe Diver showed that maybe he is a better midfielder back with that kick. He tried to the outside of his right foot, and he kicked it wide. Ardara again completely on top. But if we look at the scoreboard, it's 1 point all. I think it's important. We go back to maybe the St. Eunan's game. St. Eunan's were completely on top of Ardara stage, but didn't put them away either.
Even McCauley's kick out's a better one. This one drilled out. Ollie Reid got hands up but couldn't hold it. And now here they come again. Brendan Boyle bursting down. There's a chance here. Michael Doherty's inside. There could be a goal chance. Well, he takes the point because the defender did well to get back. And it was Shane McNulty, the McCool's captain, who was getting back there. And just for a fleeting moment there, Martin McHugh, there was a goal opportunity.
I tell you another thing, a player that's in big ball is Conor Dowds, the number 6 from McCool's. Peter McHugh is it's him just picking up all the ball. He's getting on the end of everything. And I think Brendan Levy needs to make a switch there. Conor Dowds in that area. Peter McHugh, and that was a goal chance for Ardara to keep it down. It was in the back of the net. McCool's got in around him but defended well, but it was a good score and a good move again by Ardara.
2 points to 1 in Ardara's favour, and anxious looking John McConnell down below is perhaps feeling he should be scoring more. Shawnee Boyce gets it off to Shane McNulty. He goes long on this occasion, and there seemed to be a foul there on Paddy McNulty, but referee Seamus McGonigal says play on, and Seamus Burns back there. He's got support from Eamon Doherty, the experienced Eamon Doherty. He's tackled and fouled by Paddy McNulty, and it's going to be a free to Ardara inside their own 14-metre line.
Definitely the better side so far.
No doubt about that, yeah. McCool started well in the first 2 or 3 minutes, but since that Ardara, much more mobility about them, and
maybe the only real factor going back down the field and ended up kicking balls.
They lost the momentum,
The other thing you do is if you kick balls up and defenders won it easily, it affects the forward and other forwards. You need to try get good ball inside.
Well, it hasn't been happening, and here's Kevin Byrne, who's seen an awful lot of the ball. Ollie Reid trying to go to close him down now, working his way towards his own 45. He gives it out, and the ball's knocked forward again. McHugh again in possession, winning a lot of ball. Gives it to Johnny Hearn. Johnny Hearn coming forward, switches the play. Conor Dowds gets there on this occasion. Good strong play by the centre half back on that occasion. Peter McHugh certainly felt the effects of that one in any case. Ollie Reid's back again, maybe too far, but he gives it to Conor Dowds now. He launches it forward, looking for Paddy McNulty. Paddy McNulty got there first, took his eye off the ball and lost possession. Kevin Byrne has it, and it goes to Michael Doherty. Michael Doherty plays it into the middle of the park to Jonathan Boyd. Ardara playing all over the pitch. The ball comes across now to Stephen McHugh. Took his eye off it, but it'll be Peter McHugh who'll get there. Peter McHugh gives it back in there to Stephen McHugh. Stephen McHugh, toe to hand under a bit of pressure, gives it to Damien Diver. Took his eye off it, lost possession, but there wasn't a McCool man close enough to it. It's not a good ball forward. McCool should cut it out on this occasion. Joe Durnian has it. Not the greatest pass in the world into Aidan McGinty, but he has time to retrieve the situation, and he gives it to McNulty. McNulty to Dowds, back to McNulty. Morris Lafferty's outside him, gives it outside to Morris Lafferty, inside his own 45. He plays it forward here, down along the line. Andrew Boner's there. Andrew Boner in possession, and he's been tackled by Declan Dollar, but Andrew Boner does very, very well. 2 or 3 Ardara men around him. Gives it into Shawnee Boyce. Shawnee Boyce with a chance from far out, launches it across, but that one's going to drop close to the end line. Kevin Keegan McCormick's there, got his foot to it, but good defended again by Seamus Byrne.
The full forwards back picking the ball up from his corner back.
Damien Diver again all over the park, but the problem for Ardara is they don't have anybody forward. Peter McHugh's trying to do that now. The ball's played forward now to Kenneth Doherty. Brendan Boyd's inside him. Brendan Boyd gets possession, but he got a good challenge as well. It's a harsh decision.
I don't think that was a free.
No, the ball was played away, definitely there.
What it was from Kenneth Doherty was a suicide ball, Charlie, into and Brendan Boyd, and the referee fell for that there. I feel that it wasn't actually a free. Fairness, and I don't know if he's going to book him or not. I think he's only taking Aidan McGinty the cornerback. But I thought, looking at it from here, Charlie, played the ball first and played the man. It was a bad pass inside to him, and he had to wait to receive it. And as you said, our dad players back, and what ended up was the 2 midfielders ended up going forward, getting on the ball. Gaelic football has probably changed a fair bit, Charlie, because there's play everywhere. You can see now a corner forward, a corner back up scoring a goal or something. It's just the way in this game it's like that. I mean, as we're talking about Ollie Reid playing back in the full back line, Damien Diver took that ball off the corner back, that's him playing full forward at the other end.
But isn't one of the problems now, Martin, that so many players are playing between the 245s, that there's so little danger when you look up, because you might have one forward in there, you'll be looking lucky to have two. I mean, St Eunan's cost them the semi-final here because tactically, I mean, they just got it completely wrong.
They were completely on top. St Eunan's at the stage when Crossan was playing on the 40, then they took Crossan back and played him on Diver in centre half and left the spare man in defence. And when you do that, you're going to end up not getting much scores because the whole situation is going to change.
Here's Jonathan Boyle with that resulting free. That one's not going to go over the bar, but could be a 45. I think McCool's defender, Joe Durnian, got his hands to it, and Paddy McBride, the linesman, racing into the spot. And it's going to be a line ball. Mick McGrath is the standby referee here. Robbie O'Donnell is the fourth official, so all the top officials in Donegal here, as it should be on county final day. Jimmy White, of course, who's been elevated up perhaps to first choice inter-county referee here in the county referee. A minor final, which if you're just joining us this afternoon, was a draw. Ardara coming back from, at one stage, being 9 points down to force a draw with a free kick in the last minute against the holders. Glenty's ball dangerously in. The ball had gone wide. I think Morris Lafferty had possession, but Eamon McCauley came in, and it's going to be.
I couldn't understand how the umpire didn't call a square ball. The referee called a square ball there when that ball went in. It looked to me as if it was
an early square ball. Anyway, they've awarded a wide ball. Anxious faces down here below us. Brendan Lee, the team manager, Michael McGeehan, Damien Bradley, and Terry Riley all down there as well. The backroom team at McCool's in their first county final for many, many years. There the ball goes forward again and again with Ollie Reid not in that centre half forward position. Kevin Byrne gets it, ball played inside, good defending again, but the ball will come to Michael Doherty. However, he didn't take it first time, and if you don't take it first time, you're going to get tackled right away. Jonathan Boyle now from the angle, good looking shot by him. But the ball goes wide again, and tackle all of wide. We make it 7 wides now, I think, for Ardara. 7 wides for Ardara, 2 wides for McCool. That'll give us an indication of the amount of possession and dominance that Ardara have had, Martin. 19 minutes gone, still only 2 points to 1, and really Ardara will be the more disappointed side, despite the fact that they're on top here.
Yeah, definitely completely on top and not getting the score. An interesting one now. They put Dipper out to the half forward line, and now he's been picked up by Shane McNulty, the McCool's captain.
Well, it comes Morris Lafferty getting hands to it, but Dipper almost got there. I thought he was fouled again, but the referee, Seamus McGonigal, close to the scene, decided that he wasn't. A laboured pass there from Morris Lafferty to Ollie Reid. Ollie Reid's fouled, and it's going to be a free kick. Referee Seamus McGonigal says to Shane McNulty, it's got to be back a bit. Ollie Reid again, for my liking, far too back. Ball back. The ball played across. Bernard McGeehan, who has such an excellent opening 5 or 6 minutes, hasn't seen much possession. He's fouled there by Stephen McHugh, and it's going to be a free 2. McCool's just outside the 45, and Ollie Reid, who kicked so many good points for them in those matches against Kilcar, of course, and a couple of important scores against Gweedore, is coming out to take it. Looks as though he's going to take it from the ground. There he is. Be a good effort. He's kicking towards the River Finn end, as I mentioned. There's no breeze to worry him. Absolutely calm day here. I'm almost tempted to say that it stopped raining, but that might be just stretching the imagination. But if it is raining, it's raining as light as it's been all day. Earlier today, the minor game was played in pretty atrocious conditions. Some excellent football by both Niamh Connell from Glenty's and Kilcar in that drawn game. So another wide ball, third wide for McCool's, and well, with the lack of possession they've had, Martin, they won't be too unhappy. They'll be only 2 points to 1 down.
It's just interesting they've gone 21 minutes and they've got 1 point. We talked about Niamh Connell in the minor team, how long they went, 41 minutes and without getting a score. So, conditions has a bit of it.
Morris Lafferty gets it in. Paddy McNulty uses his strength, knocks the ball out. Ollie Reid got hands to it. Shane Duffy has it now. He gets it back to Morris Lafferty. Quickly through to Ollie Reid. That's good bit of play there. Man forward up now, but what a poor ball by Ollie Reid again. Well, it was Bernard McGeehan who was going through. Damien Divers knocked to the ground there by Paddy McNulty. Stephen McHugh has it now. He's got support outside him from Francis Diver. Goes long, looking for Peter McHugh. Conor Dowds does brilliantly there. And we'll have to say big collision, but the Crew's men have it in the form of Michael McGinty. He's fouled. He plays it inside here to Shane McNulty. Just the Crew's beginning finally to get a little bit of an edge about their game. And it goes to Andrew Boner. He misses it. And it's going to be Kevin Byrne going back there. He's immediately under pressure, but does well to defenders there meeting. It was Shane McNulty who'd gone forward, but there's a foul now by Andrew Boner. It's going to be a free out. Michael Doherty's deep inside his own 45, plays it forward here with Johnny Hearn, the right half forward to the right half back. Doing opposite rules, one would have to say. Ball comes in here to Dawn early again. Early, being well marked here by Joe Durnan. Throw the hand from a standing position, which isn't always the best way to do it. Michael Doherty plays a nice one into the corner to Jonathan Boyle on the 14-metre line, but he's only about 5 metres from the end line, so the angle is very acute. Forced out towards the 45. Plays a long ball across here, looking for Peter McHugh. Peter McHugh having to work hard to get it. Ollie Reid working hard to get there as well. Pushes him on the back. That's a stupid silly foul by Ollie Reid. No need to do that whatsoever. And Ollie Reid stand off him there, Martin.
I mean, listen, we talk about it. I know it's still a difficult kick, but still, Peter McHugh was faced out towards us, and Ollie Reid just pushed him in the back and made it very easy. You know, it's just two stupid things Ollie Reid did in the last minute. The fisted pass down here as well that he gave away. You know, he's a very good player, Ollie Reid, but sometimes does stupid things like that. I see Jonathan Boyle coming across to take this free again. It's interesting with maybe Ollie Reid took the free down the other end. Sometimes I don't understand maybe sometimes why teams don't have something worked out beforehand. You know, trying to get a boy down tight as lace and the next thing he wants to get shot, because in the conditions it is very hard. You know, even to keep your feet under you. Not alone talk about kicking a good ball over the bar.
Yeah, well, that's what he's going to have to do now. This one is about 24 metres out. It's only about 2 steps in from the sideline, so it's a very difficult one. He went close the last time from a more acute angle. Jonathan Boyle, nice strike, but that one's going to go wide again, and that's a lot of wides for Ardara in the first half. In association with Jackson's Hotel here in Ballybofey, who are sponsoring our coverage of the 2004 Donegal Senior Championship Final. It's Ardara 2 points, McCool's 1 point. Brendan and Levy again having a word with Ollie Reid, telling them to go forward. And in fact, if McCool's are going to make an impression in attack, Ollie Reid's going to have to play in a much more forward role.
And Levy's not happy at all. I mean, he's calling out to him to tell him to go forward and stay forward.
Well, it comes from the middle of the park. Brendan Boyle got a first to it. Francis Diver picks it up back here to Kenneth Doherty. Kenneth Doherty again in the standing position, gets it into Damien Diver down the side, but a poor ball by Damien Diver. And the pass option by both teams, one would have to say very, very poor. Shane Duffy launches it forward, but again,
because the defenders playing forwards playing defence, you're going to have that situation. Both teams are.
Good interception there by Bernard McGeehan. Bernard McGeehan looking for his options now, but there's not many forward. Andrew Bonner's one of them, pushing the back on him by Declan Gallagher. Slightly accidental, I think, just as the 2 feet get caught up. But McCool's won't be too disappointed, because certainly this is one that maybe Ollie Reid could kick over the bars about 35 metres out.
He's not actually going. He's leaving it to
Shani Boyce.
I remember Shani Boyce playing. I was playing with Kilcar. He was playing with Clonmany. He used to kick some great scores.
Yeah, here's a chance for the Falcara native, playing with McCool's for the last number of seasons. Halfway between the 21 and the 45. It's certainly got the height and certainly got the distance, and a significant contribution by Shani Boyce brings the sides level. And the amazing factor, Martin, after coming up to 25 minutes, I think McCool's got their first score after maybe a minute or two. They haven't scored for about 23 minutes, and they're level here.
Yes, unbelievable game when you consider everything. And Ardara had something like 8 wides that Ardara had kicked it. I've never seen a team be completely on top of the match as Ardara, and still at the end of, as you say, after 25 minutes, it's 2 points each.
Yeah. 20 minutes between McCool's 2 scores, and they're back in the championship at level here.
It's happening at all levels, even county level. Teams not able to score, and that's why teams have been kept on the games, because people do what is happening, Charlie. Look at it, they're playing far too much. Too many players playing back in defence, and nobody in the front, and that, especially around the half forward line.
Duffy taking Stephen McHugh out of it there without the ball. Referee allows the play to continue in the conditions. I think Sean Mac Cumhaills doing a good job just allowing things to develop. Brendan McGeehan plays it across there to Joe Durnan. Forward back into Brendan McGeehan again. McGeehan back in the game again, and a great start to it. Then faded out of it, but now he's back in it. But that's a cool ball forward, but they picked up by Paddy McNulty, because I think it was young Declan Gallagher who lost possession.
Paddy McNulty's going to be lucky here. He swung back the hand. I think it was an accident when he did it, but he just used his hand to swing back, and McGonagall saw it. He's gone over to check with the linesman. This is going to be an interesting decision. He actually swung back, Charlie, and he did connect. There's no doubt about it. But it was kind of half where he was pushing, trying to bust out with the ball, coming across and knocking a man out of his way. McGonagall stopped the game. He's calling them over. Big call.
Big decision. Will it be yellow? Will it be red? I wonder. Mick McGrath was right on the scene. 2 experienced officials here. Yellow card might suffice.
Yeah, I think it's a fair enough decision, because it wasn't that, he did it to knock him the way you would push a player out of the way, but he did connect. It was kind of an accident what he did, but he definitely connected.
Yeah, good referee in there, and the officials working well together. And a yellow card for Paddy McNulty, so They need to be careful, and really, Martin, they need to get him into the game because he's been a big factor for them in the championship this year.
Dennis one of them, I suppose, in the semi-finals, he wasn't in the game either, and then he scored the most important. He got the touch, the fist to the ball that counted, and got the goal for them. But go back to football, and we look at Kerry, and we talk about short foot, and talk about everything. I mean, I think that when you remember the real thing was probably said after the Irish finals when Jack O'Connor made the point about we knew we're not going to play high ball training because the forwards playing over. I think reverting back to some of the high ball, play it short to the middle of the field, right, but then kick it high into the football. You make the mistakes made in there, and they're going to put more scores off that type of football, Charlie.
With an edge to it now, we've got a foul there as well, and Kemper's just beginning to get a little afraid. Donegal tells the player to get on with it. Good refereeing again, and McCool's caught on the hop here. Too many players getting involved in that. Michael Doherty coming through, and he kicks it. And he kicks it right as well, and that's good refereeing. Good refereeing by Seamus McGonigal there.
That's a terrible way to make it. Good play by Damien Dever. Gallagher took the free forward. Dever played it in quickly to Michael Doherty, and he already scored a point. You expect him to take that, and that's a terrible way. Considering everything else, people ask you what's the score at half-time in the county final, certainly they turn around and say that we're only won 28 minutes, or somebody could turn around and say there was 2 points all Charlie in the county final.
Absolutely. We're going to go down to Tom Cormac at half-time. He's going to try and grab somebody down there. This is McCool's coming forward again. Ollie Reid has it. It'll be interesting if they went into the lead. And another player there. Let's take an opportunity maybe just to go quickly down to Tom Cormac, who's down there at pitch side. Tom, you're close to the dugouts down there. A lot of activity, particularly in the Ardara situation. They can't be too happy with the fact that they're still level here. A big problem here. Here's Don Early with a chance. Well, chance is now back to Jonathan Boyle, and Jonathan Boyle kicks it over the bar. But there was a half a goal chance there because Don Early had got in behind and was left in behind by the defender. McGonigal having a word here. Seamus McGonigal having a word here with Shane McNulty. I think he just maybe was a little bit late on Brendan Boyle. Good spot by the referee again. It's going to be a kick out from the 21-metre line. 3 points to 2 in Ardara's favour. We've gone into the final minute. I actually missed how much extra time we were going to play. 2 minutes, Martin McHugh tells me we're going to play. Morris Lafferty uses his strength to push Brendan Boyle. There was a Kenneth Doherty away, but good play by Stephen McHugh. Strong play, but a run back on this occasion. Michael Doherty playing a good, intelligent game, as he always does. Here's Damien Dever pushing forward. McNulty was with him, Ollie Reid was with him as well, and the referee, Seamus McGonigal, not happy about that. And it's going to be a second booking perhaps for McCool's player. Is it just a tick? Seamus McGonigal, no, yellow card for Ollie Reid. Didn't like that cover. The referee, that's 2 yellow cards. We're in the first minute of what will be 2 minutes of injury time. Damien Dever plays under a corner. Jonathan Boyle collision off the ball between Morris Lafferty and Brendan Boyle there. But anyway, the play continues. Michael Doherty moves across. The ball's played inside. Wasn't a greatest ball. Peter McHugh gets there. Chance for Peter McHugh. Ball goes to ground. Referee says play on. The ball comes across here to Francis Dever. Ball goes to ground again. He's surrounded. He gets the ball out to Brendan Boyd. Brendan Boyd's left foot isn't the strongest, but there's still danger. Michael Doherty's inside. The ball goes high. There's a bit of holding. The referee says it's going to be a 45. Shane Duffy got his foot to it. And McCool's living dangerously here, Martin.
Yeah, I thought that Peter McHugh actually could have got a free in there, Charlie. I thought he was actually fouled in that situation there. But they're working hard. It's the one thing they're doing. They're working hard. But they've been. They look at the scoreboard and they're only a point down. And I mean, Ardara completely had total control of it. You see Brendan Boyle actually getting on to Paddy Fenny McBride about maybe third man tackles out around the middle of the field in that area.
Yeah, 1 or 2 of those happening. It's hard to keep an eye on them because of fast moving ball, but certainly a couple of Ardara men have ended up on the seat of their pants. There's no question about that. Brendan Boyle bringing that to the attention of the linesmen, and the linesmen are the best people to spot that. The referee has to go with the play, of course. Jonathan Boyle's been striking the ball well without much success from frees, one would have to say. Here he comes from the 45 metre in a fairly central position. Gets the height, gets the distance, and gets the accuracy. Good score by Jonathan Boyle. That's 3 points for him.
One from a free, Charlie, one from play, and one from a 35. But he has had plenty of practice today, but I think what in fairness to McCool's went down with third-man tackle, what they're doing is Ardara play the short running game, and what they're doing is getting bodies in there and stopping them, taking the return, they're getting in their bodies there. But that's an important kick there, just on the half-time whistle. Can I just make one point? I can't understand why, Ireland, all matches are 35 minutes, why we don't play 35 minutes. 30 minutes is not a long, we should play 35 minutes.
Okay, let's go down to Tom Cormack. I think he's going to have a quick word there with somebody. Tom.
Sean Mac Cumhaills.
Okay, Tom, thanks for that. Tom Cormack, keep us abreast of things during that pitch side. We'll be joining Tom during the second half, of course, and the second half is on. Morris Lafferty got a fist to it, and the ball played forward there to Michael McGinty. Not away from him, and 2 or 3 Ardara men around him. He still has possession, he's trying to get it back. The referee says that he overcarried the ball, and it's going to be a free out. Again, very harsh decision, because I certainly felt he was being fouled. Remarkably, a break in the sky, a little bit of blueness, would you believe, and if anything, the sun trying to break out for the first time here at McCool Park. That's a bit of a turn-up for the books. Well, we have another turn-up with a comeback by McCool's in the second half. Andrew Boone, who got one of those first half points, trying to get there, a collision between 2 McCool's players, and it's going to be a sideline ball. Shane Duffy was the other wonderful ball played forward to Damien Dever. Significant role for him, as always. Plays the ball across. Connor Dowd should be able to get there. Well, got there first, but didn't pick it up, and it's Brendan going now. Kenneth Doherty now, going through. Kenneth Doherty shoots with his left foot. There's danger here. Michael Doherty was onside. There was good defending there. Was it Joe Downing? I'll tell you, whoever it was timely interception, because there could have been a goal chance on. Full pass again inside by Shane Duffy. Shawnee Boyce did well to get it. He gives it back. The ball's played out now to Morris Lafferty. Didn't pick it up at the first occasion. The ball's knocked away from Morris Lafferty now. Michael Doherty has it, and there's a chance here. Well, again the ball played out here, and the referee says go ahead. Stephen Kildare with the player going through. He's come on for the second half in place of the man who replaced him at the start, Francis Diver. Poor passing again by McCool's. Certainly McCool's passing has been abysmal. There's a better pass out, and a chance for them now to break up the pitch perhaps. Long ball forward, but Eamon Doherty's out ahead, knocks the ball down to Damien Diver, 2 of the experienced men. The ball's played across now to Michael Doherty. Morris Lafferty, the closest player to him, he plays it into Don Early. Don Early quickly plays it inside. Poor pass again, easily cut out by Shane Duffy. He plays it forward looking for Andrew Boner. Andrew Boner gets hands to it, very close to the sideline. The tackle there by Declan Gallagher. Andrew Boner good in possession, goes to ground. Referee says play on. Definitely fouled, no doubt about that. There was a collision there between Andrew Boner and Johnny Hearn. The ball played forward to Don Early. Early be tackled by Morris Lafferty. Referee says that he overcarried the ball.
That's bad refereeing there, Tony. In fairness, he's mainly making up for the last one. Don Early was fouled as well. I mean, pulled round the neck and taken down, and he overcarried. Sean Mac Cumhaills made a couple of bad decisions to start the second half, Charlie.
A couple of bad decisions, and well, the end result is it's going to be a sideline ball to McCool's, with the ball coming off the boot of Kevin Byrne. Paddy McNulty at centre half forward now. Ollie Reid's going into full forward. It's 4 points to 2 in Ardara's favour. Just 2.5 minutes in the second half gone. Shawnee Boyce, who scored one of those first half points, plays the ball back to Shane Duffy. Shane Duffy selling dummies, gets the ball inside here to Michael McGinty. McGinty plays it inside to Shawnee Boyce again. Shawnee Boyce immediately surrounded by 2 or 3 Ardara men. Good defending by them. He somehow gets the ball away there, and it's Bernard McGeehan. McGeehan gives it back to Ollie Reid. Ollie Reid gives it across to Morris Lafferty. Damien Dever coming to meet him, but the ball's played inside. There's half a chance here. Well, there's good tackling, but the ball's still in. There could be another chance here. The shot's coming in, and the ball goes wide. Shane McNulty, and McCool's captain, was the man who was forward. And Martin, really, the amount of ball handling errors, I know that the conditions are very difficult out there, but the players playing, wearing gloves, you would suspect that their ball handling skills be a bit better.
Yeah, and it's been very, very disappointing. So there's one there. The Damien Diver is actually playing at left half forward now, picked up by Shane McNulty, and Diver, that when the free was been taken in, I think Diver running back and standing on his own goal line, and that's why Shane McNulty ended up getting on the ball in that situation. So we talked about it before, in here at the game, is just play everywhere. You could see anybody picking up a ball in any position on the field, but this ball handling, just the general skill has been very poor.
McCool's player got a bit of treatment there. There's a foul. The referee says play on, and Kenneth Doherty plays it down over Don Early. Don Early lively, winning all the ball, coming his way. Players running inside and outside him, but he keeps the ball, opens the option, gives it inside to Stephen Kildare. Stephen Kildare sells a nice dummy. Nathan McGinty gives it back to Don Early. Don Early gives it inside to Brendan Boyle. Brendan Boyle shoots, and the ball goes over the bar. A big midfielder who's burst forward with effect on a number of occasions, and maturing as a player as time goes on. Martin really should have had a couple of scores in the first half, but that's an important score because it just widens that out to that psychological advantage of a 3-point lead.
The other thing is about it is that ball, great catch by Kenneth Doherty in the middle of the field, other midfield. McCool's are a big ball in the middle of the field. I don't know, maybe they should put Paddy McNulty to him. Somebody tried to one ball in it. Red Boyle doing what he's good, busting for.
Here's Paddy McNulty going forward now, fouled. Referee awards the free. Strong sun coming through. Referee Seamus McGonigal not happy, and I think it's Brendan Boyle who gets his name ticked, or is it Kenneth Doherty?
Yeah, they're actually, I know the sun's out, they're very, very like under the two of them. Yeah. One of his right foot and the other's left, even though Brendan Boyle kicked that good score with his left foot.
Ball dropped dangerously into the small parallelogram, hands go up, Shonny Boyce trying to get there, he's under Kevin Keegan McCormick's there as well, completely surrounded by our drop players. Still get the ball in, half a chance here, but it's kicked away, and Shane Duffy should be able to get there before it goes out over the sideline, or really, he does, picks the ball up, and knocks it inside here to Shonny Boyce. There's a man inside him, Morris Lafferty. It's a laboured pass to Morris Lafferty. He's trying to get away from Brendan Boyle. Not an easy thing to do. There's a man inside, but he goes long on this occasion. Eamon Doherty trying to get there. It's nicely knocked down by Paddy McNulty, but Andrew Bonner wasn't alert, and the ball out to Brendan Boyle. Brendan Boyle into Johnny Hearn. Johnny Hearn takes a knock but gives it off to Stephen McHugh. This is good play. Kenneth Doherty coming forward again. Michael McGinty chasing him. Damien Diver on the run. Brilliant link play by Diver. Diver plays it inside to Stephen McHugh. This is great play by Ardara. Surely deserves a score. And Stephen McHugh kicks it on his right foot, but the ball just goes wide of that.
It's naturally left footed, why he didn't turn onto his left foot and try to kick it over the bar with his left foot. But Ardara have been by far the better side so far. And here they go again, Brendan Boyle.
Yeah, McHugh's thinking about changes, but it might be too late because here comes Michael Doherty. Michael Doherty shoots on his right foot, but he kicks the ball wide. And the pattern of the first half again emerging in the early stages of the second half. 6.5 minutes go on. Ardara with all the possession, with all the chances, and kicking all the wides.
Michael Doherty has had some terrible. They kicked 10 wides the first half. And Buchanan was just telling us 10 wides the first half to kick, and considering they only scored 4 points, second half they kicked some terrible wides as well. McCool's need to make switches. Ardara completely again Charlie on top.
Ardara winning everything. Here's Michael Doherty, plays it inside. Wasn't a good ball, was well read now. McCool's coming out, and Joe Dunion plays the ball forward, but it wasn't a good ball. Andrew Bonner trying to get there, but Declan Gallagher's the master of that battle. And Damien Diver now, the link man again. Now Don Early's in oceans of space out in the 45-metre line. Conor Dowd's going across to him, looking for options, and it's Kenneth Doherty, but it was a poor pass, suicide pass really. And Kenneth Doherty would have a knock there. He was brave going for it, but maybe he should have stepped back from it because he was never going to get there. Here's Bernard McGeehan coming forward now. Started this game well, bursting past Stephen McHugh on this occasion. Aggressive play by him. Plays a nice little ball forward to Andrew Bonner. Andrew Bonner finally gets possession, but the referee says there was a boot coming in from Eamon Doherty. It's going to be a free. And if ever a team needed to score, it's McCool's, Martin.
It's an important one now. Keegan McCormick, who hadn't got much on the ball. It was very interesting, Charlie, the first time. They had Paddy McNulty full forward and then kick a high ball in. They've had Ollie Reid in for it. I think they've kicked about 5 balls in the second half.
Yeah, what a poor effort of a free there by Kevin Keegan McCormick. Surely shouldn't have kicking that ball over the bar. Tried a short one to Ollie Reid and overshot.
Showing a lot of lack of confidence in that case.
And here now there could be great play because Damien Diver's on the run again. Damien Diver faced by Conor Dowds, but Dowds did well, held him up now, and good defending there by Joe Durnian as well, but the ball comes back to Don Early, seeing so much of the ball, plays it inside. The McCool's defender was out. That's great defending again by McCool's. Good spirit from McCool's here. If they only could get a couple of scores, we've got a real crack of a final. Shane Duffy plays the ball forward now to Paddy McNulty. Paddy McNulty faced by Kevin Byrne. Paddy McNulty goes round Kevin Byrne. Good skill by him, gets it into Shonny Boyce. Shonny Boyce should be able to take a score from here. Drops it in a little bit short. Kevin Keegan McCormick. Well, Conor Curran almost overran the ball. The goalkeeper really did well in the end.
The goalkeeper works tremendously hard at his game. If you're ever down our dad those matches out working hard, and that showed up there. It was a great catch.
Great catch. Here comes Damien Diver again. Damien Diver really overshot the ball. Ross Lafferty gets a boot to him. It's going to be a line ball to
he's turning up everywhere from left corners back to left half forward to everywhere. You see McCool's making this
some Rory Dowds. Rory Dowds coming on, and I think it's going to be Shonny Boyce coming off. Yeah, Shonny Boyce coming off. 12. Not going to make the change now. What's happening here?
Maybe they got the numbers wrong or something. See Ardara have a number 23.
Yeah, number 23.
That's Concar, young Concar, yeah.
It's Gareth Concar coming on, and who's come off? Yeah, we haven't just seen that yet. We'll try and find out in a moment or two. Nice play in there by Ian McGinty.
Concar's coming off. Yeah, I think that's him. He's actually he's let the grass to get him off.
And McCauley way out for the goals. And they need to be careful here because, well, the players to the left. And Guinness just needs to be very, very careful. Gets the ball off. He was fouled, so the referee go back, says Donegal. There's a player way out here on the left-hand side now.
A prime example of that. That was Bernard McGee on the ball. He took it up his goal to the right. Look where his left shift. The man that should be in that position came down in front of us, left half forward, wearing number 7.
Don Early. Early's coming off, Martin. I have to presume that's with a knock because he was up a little bit coming off at half time. I thought he'd run it off, but obviously he hadn't, so we wouldn't be taking him off if he wasn't injured. And in fact, it's number 19. The Queens have changed their mind now, and they're putting in Brendan McLaughlin. Yeah, Benny McLaughlin replacing Shawnee Boyce. I'm a bit surprised Shawnee Boyce coming off there.
Yeah, I am surprised too to see Shawnee Boyce coming off. It's not just a substitution now to tell you the truth. I thought he kicked a good score the first half and he was getting on a fair bit of ball.
Yeah, very surprising.
Both substitutions that they've done early, one is done early.
He must have been off, Martin. He must be injured.
A lot of ball as well.
Yeah.
But then, yesterday, number 21, I thought Ronan Austin full forward were playing very well, and actually Joe Kieran and some wing out. I was getting on both of them, taking off.
Taking off, there you are. Who are we to judge?
Exactly, Judge.
Damien Diver plays the ball forward now. And Peter McHugh, who's such a good first half, trying to get it, but here comes Gareth Concar now, right onto the ball and bursting through. Trying to go on his left foot, gives it into Stephen Kildare. Stephen Kildare's shot is blocked. That's brilliant defending.
That's selfish play. Selfish play, Charlie. Should have given it inside.
Yeah.
Peter McHugh was inside for the goal chance. Very selfish play.
Didn't give it to him, and now will they be made pay for that, I wonder. Coming the cruise again. Paddy McNulty bursting past Kevin Bernard. He's trying to, but not an easy job. Michael Doherty's working. Paddy McNulty needs support, he's not getting it. Referee says that he overcarried the ball. Can't disagree with that decision. He turned back and forward 2 or 3 times there, and I think that was purely through lack of support there. Players not getting to him. Damien Doherty plays a short one down to Michael Doherty. Michael Doherty just coming over the 70-metre line. Plays it forward again, and it's Kenneth Doherty on the run. Kenneth Doherty with Maurice Lafferty trying to close him down, but Kenneth Doherty shoots another wide for Ardara. And this all could be costly in the end. There's 11, almost 12 minutes gone in the second half. It was 4 points to 2 at half time. It's 5 points to 2, so in 12 minutes we've just had 1 score. And Martin, in association with Jackson's Hotel in Ballabafay, we need to see a bit of an improvement here.
We've seen an improvement considering the Cruise and County final. We said first in the years and we've only scored 2 points in the last score. We got a score in the 5th minute and then in the 24th minute. And what did you say, about 12 minutes in the
Here's a chance now, yeah. Peter McHugh finally getting the ball played inside to him and kicking the ball over the bar, and slowly but surely, and it is slowly but surely, one would have to say, Ardara just beginning to age away, Martin, and if they could get a couple more points.
It's been right far, Charlie. I mean, it's a totally one-sided final. They should be far further ahead. Maybe even that last one was faster than Peter McHugh. Peter McHugh's having a good game. He's been effective. You know, he's got one and the Cruise haven't made a switch there. I'm surprised with Shane Duffy on it.
Here's Benny McLaughlin, the man who's just won. Reduced the deficit to 6 points to 3. Keegan McCormick getting that point from a free, and they're still in it. Surprisingly, given all the possession, all the chances Ardara had, McCruise are not out of this game. Shane McNulty launches a big one forward. Harry McNulty's in behind, and there's another man. There's a bit of pushing going on, but 6 of 1, half a dozen the others. This year is McGonigal. If that ball had broken the other way, Martin McHugh, there was a goal very much on.
Yeah, I thought Brendan McLaughlin should have actually held on to it, Charlie.
Here's one of be a free in. Cool's trying to take it too quickly. Shane Donegal calling the ball back, and Ollie Reid's going to get a chance. Remarkably, if he kicks us over the bar, we're back to a 2 points game again, Martin.
Yeah, that's it. And Ardara been completely on top, and still if Ollie Reid kicks us over the bar, as you said, and he's leaving it now to Keegan McCormick.
Yeah, left foot of Keegan McCormick dead straight in front of the goals and dead straight over the bar. Keegan McCormick with 2 points. I wonder is his brother captain, well it's not, it's senior inspector, isn't it now, Paul McCormick out in New York. I wonder has he made his way home for it, or perhaps if he hasn't he'll be listening to us on the net as well, like John Kinney, who I mentioned earlier on, Kevin, and Emmett McCormick, of course, one of the substitutes here. Abe Brennan is about to come in, another experienced campaigner for Ardara. Out the ball comes Morris Lafferty, nicely picked up there by Stephen McHugh. Tackled by Michael McGinty, plays the ball into the corner to Gareth Concar. He's been tackled there, tackled well by Joe Byrne, and Morris Lafferty going to the scene as well, but the ball's played across to Peter McHugh. He plays it back to Brendan Boyd just inside the 45-metre line, and he's been given plenty of space, but kicks the ball out as it gone wide. Jonathan Boyd got onto it, the ball went wide. Substitute here, and Michael Doherty coming off. Another interesting substitution here. And it's Abe Brennan. Michael Doherty, he's surprised, Martin, or Ian, I'm surprised.
They're interesting substitutions, In fairness, Conker has actually played well since he went in, So they're probably thinking maybe fresh legs on the next score's going to be important. The coach can come back with a bunch of
Well, here come our draw again. Brendan Boyd bursting down the middle again. Kenneth Doherty, bursting down the middle, takes it and kicks it over the bar. Kenneth Doherty with his first point of the game, and they seem to Ardara falling under this trap, I think, and waiting to respond to McCool's, maybe responding to them.
They've got me up the ante since McCool's got the score, and the midfield's been completely on top. Brendan Boyler's got a point, that's 2 points. They've got a 7. Two midfielders can play, Kenneth Doherty and Brendan Boyler, making a big difference. In the area, you've got a one in Gaelic football. Midfield's important, and McCool's haven't picked up anything in that.
7 points to 4 in Ardara's favour, still 3 points only between them, and I say that with a great degree of caution, because it certainly is no indication the Cruz are able to come back here, but perhaps they'll come and score a goal. As I say that, Ollie Reid now launches one forward in, Connor Crone coming out, a little bit of a push on him, but the ball went wide, and Ollie Reid deciding to play that ball forward. McCool's really, Mark, they're going to have to start launching the ball and try and get Paddy McNulty into this game.
Back in City, and he hasn't been in the game at all. He's been very, very disappointing. Eamon Doherty's, doesn't look that good every day, but he's very, very effective. He's a very, very effective. Even when he played for the county, he's very effective. He does the simple things right, which is good to see in a full-back.
I think Eamon Doherty was very unlucky when he played for the county, Martin. I know that he got sent off in a game and he was suspended. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's right.
And he lost his place as a result of that. But I always thought, as you say, he did his job tremendously well.
He did the marking job, but he did respectfully. That's the kind of player you love. That's the kind of player manager loves to have. Here goes our guy again.
Here they come again. Kevin Byrne bursting up the middle again, and Shane McNulty, brilliant bit of play by the wing back. That's super play with the captain. Well, Kevin Byrne was sliding in, and some of the Cruz players not too happy about it. That was dangerous, and several Ardara players getting involved now. Even McCauley's come out as well, and all sorts of silly stuff going on in there. Seamus McGonigal was on the scene, but I have to say, Martin, that was a poor challenge there by Kevin Byrne, really.
Yeah, it's a dangerous challenge on the ground, and with the boot. I think it's Joe Dunyan is there. Even McCauley shouldn't come out and get involved in this. He's going to get himself booked now, that situation. Normally, if you look at the scoreboard, McCool's are getting beat. They don't need to be slow enough to give them. They need to keep the game flowing. And the referee's going to book them.
Referee Seamus McGonigal with the two players there, Kevin Byrne and Eamon McCauley. Byrne for the sliding tackle, quite rightly getting the yellow card, and Eamon McCauley racing out of his goals to get involved in something that had nothing to do with him.
Both players booked.
Brendan Levy telling Eamon McCauley to calm down, get back into goals. Referee perhaps now will throw the ball up as a result of that. It would have been a free to McCool's, but now there's a danger here, danger area, because it's on the 21-metre line, and possession's going to be so vital here. In it goes, and there's a bit of pushing. The ball played out here by the full-back, Brendan Byrne. Poor ball out, one would have to say. The endeavour going in there on Shane McNulty, and referee says he fouled him. Man not in possession of the ball, I think, is the decision. And Shane Duffy We had a good first half, but faded somewhat so far in the second half. Launches this one down one line, looking for Andrew Bono, but out over the sideline. That's poor stuff.
Wolves have been very, very fortunate. I know we're here expecting, waiting for something to happen and everything else, but it's been, even though the scoreboard doesn't tell it, it's been a very, very one-sided match.
Yeah, we're looking at the clock, 19 and a half minutes gone, so 10 and a half minutes plus injury time to go. Ardara lead by 7 points to 4. Gareth Concar goes low. He's fouled down by Joe Logan.
He's got a lot of pace, a lot of pace.
Early ball has come up to him, and now the ball will be moved forward by Seamus Donegal up to the 45. Damien Diver.
He's had a good game too. He's controlling. He's just the different, you see that bit of class that he's controlling the match in his own way.
Ardara's captain launches a ball in over the head of the defenders. Jonathan Boyle sticks it in the net. Well, for once the defender misjudged it. I think it might have been Brendan Durnan who just failed to get that ball, and Jonathan Boyle caught the ball above his head. The angle was acute, Martin. It was a super finish.
He finished it very well with his right foot. He did score the Victor 45 was out of point and play. That's a goal in point. He's got the ball and finished it well.
It's all over now with 10 minutes to go. Here come Ardara again, and the team's challenge surely gone. Ardara have extra men. Here's Brendan Boyle running down these floors to his right, but he decides to shoot himself. Gets the ball into the bar. All of a sudden, this game, which remained close despite the fact that Ardara have won so many wides. Really, it's 1-8 now to Ardara, 4 points to the Cools. It's game over.
Same two players involved in Brendan Boyle, Kenneth Doherty. Kenneth Doherty's had a good game in the midfield as well. Really controlled that area, and that's the area where the games are definitely won and lost for sale. But it's been totally one-sided, and now the scoreboard's starting to tell that the scoreline of 1-8. Disappointed for the Cools. They haven't really performed at all.
Ardara's second championship in several years. On the way, incident off the ball, we were told we just didn't catch it. But our bench seems to be a bit upset. Tom Comac down in touchline, maybe he's been able to keep an eye on what's going on. Tom, Ardara.
Someone behind the goals, Charlie, behind the goals. There's a lot of fighting going on behind the goals. Get Stewards out there and get set.
That's silly stuff. We're fighting about this particular stage. Only clubs down there, but that's silly stuff. So it's off the pitch trouble. I'll get down to Tom in a minute or two. We'll just stay for the play. In the morning, beating this occasion, let's hope this doesn't degenerate that fisticuffs now. Several players getting involved here. Silly stuff. This is all getting rather silly down there, isn't it? I'm just looking at the action down behind the goals here. Some stewards have got down there, probably not enough stewards, but there's no need for this silly carry on. People starting to fight with one another in a GAA match, Martin.
One thing we've always said about GAA matches is that people can sit together at the Stroke Park anywhere. We don't want to see that carry on. See, it's only young lads are down there. That was silliness next. The stewards are going, I think it's completely sorted out now. And, it's one thing we don't want to see, that kind of carry on.
Let's hope the players keep their discipline now in these last few minutes as well. Easy when the team's beaten, perhaps, when the match is gone, maybe just for tempers to pray a little. Let's hope that won't happen. It's free, and Damien Diver again in possession. What a cracker of a game he's had. He plays it forward here to Peter McHugh, who's been outstanding, to Kenneth Doherty. Martin McHugh asked the question earlier on, could Kenneth Doherty and Brendan Boyle win the midfield battle? Well, we certainly have. This is Brennan going through. Brendan Boyle again in oceans of space, shoots from his right foot on this occasion. Eamon McCauley gets possession and comes out from his goals. Good goalkeeper, good pace by him, knocks aside the challenge, plays the ball out and comes out to Bernard McGeehan plays it forward now to Conor Dowds. Playing up along the line, but Weaver shoots the pass intended for Benny McLaughlin, and out come Ardara again. Stephen McHugh, left foot, launches it down over the sideline on the stand end. It's going to be a sideline goal, and with the clock telling us that there's 23, almost 24 minutes gone, the scoreboard tells us that Ardara are leading by 1 goal and 8 points to McCool's 4 points, and Martin, overall we'd have to say a disappointing county final perhaps.
Yeah, disappointing county final. In fairness, Ardara, they'll be happy enough. The fact that they've kicked a lot of points. They could have won the game, but they could be winning at this stage by 12, 13 points, and that'll be the score. Very disappointing for McCool's in their first final. It's just disappointing they haven't performed at all. We saw Mayo last Sunday not performing in the Ireland final. I see McCool's here today not performing. That doesn't one about it is this thing of course John McConnell's first year as management once the county championship where they had situations with Jackie Connor first time, you had Mickey Hart first time, Joe Kieran. Seems to be easier to motivate the first year.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Here come Ardara again in possession. Down near the end line, the ball comes across, but none of the forwards there in the season cut out by Durden, and this occasion Durden plays a long ball out looking for Conor Dowds. Dowds will get it at the second attempt. Has a player to his right and to his left. Bernard McGeehan is the one to his right, and he chooses him. Now he plays across to the one who's on his left, Shane McNulty. Shane McNulty plays a nice little ball forward, nicely pulled up there by Benny McLaughlin. Well tackled by Declan Gallagher. Back it comes to Shane McNulty. Shane McNulty's poor effort was in. And it comes to Damien Giver. He's been all over the pitch, as Martin McHugh's been saying. Stephen McHugh has it now. He's got Declan Gallagher right.
Probably man of the match, Damien. Maybe they won't give it to him because he's fed up giving man of the match awards in games. Kenneth Doherty's been good as well, and Brendan Boyle.
Here comes Kevin Byrne. He loses possession. Maurice Lafferty gets a toe poke to it. It'll come back now to Brendan Boyle. Strong tackle there on him, but strong enough to withhold it, and now he's fouled again. Up he gets. People telling him to settle down. Another substitute coming on here for McCool's, number 23. Shane McGowan. There is a substitute coming on. It's Shane Duffy, who started this game so well, but really struggled, Martin, in the second half. Shane Duffy, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's interesting how struggled and Duffy, as we said, started well. I don't understand why they didn't put him in maybe the centre half. You look at it, E. Brennan has come on and hasn't really touched the ball since he came on, so I don't know where they see the problem with Shane in that situation. But the whole McCool's team has struggled.
Here comes Kenneth Doherty again, onto the left foot again, kicks it from the angle.
I could get him man of the match, Charlie.
Yeah, he's been good. 2 points each for Brendan Boyle and Kenneth Doherty, the two midfielders, which is significant, Martin, because apart from Jonathan Boyle, who scored a goal in 3 points, none of the other forwards have scored 2 points.
No, not a lot. That's a good exhibition. We've seen the county final from midfielders. Now, McCool's midfielders been disappointing, the two of them. They're competing on toll. Kenneth Doherty, as I said, John McConnell told me about Kenneth Doherty. He reckons, that he should be in the county panel. And that performance today, you say, why not a wing half back worker? And he kicked 2 great points. And Brendan Boyle right foot. The two of them have worked hard. It's been them two and Deborah have been the man. Everybody else have won their battle, but they have made the big difference in the whole thing. That above anybody else.
Peter McHugh coming off and Darren Maguire going on, and I think it's just a case now of Ardara giving as many players as they can a game here.
Yeah, that's it, and they'll be looking forward to enjoying themselves tonight and then getting ready for the Ulster club. I think it's actually here, isn't it, against the Down champions?
Yeah, I think that's a draw. The ball across here.
Might see Mickey Lynn here, Charlie.
Well, we'd love to see Mickey Lynn here, wouldn't we? What a footballer he was.
He's actually managing Mayo Ridge.
Yeah, and involved with international rules as well.
I'll tell you now, when Corey Joyce has come on after 10 minutes in the Galway Championship, it's just another wide for Ardara. I mean, if we look at it, the first half we've been looking up here all the time at Ardara attacking, the second half we've been looking down at the goals to our right with Ardara attacking, but Corey Joyce, who was out of the Australian rules, came on, I think over 3 points up, he came on after 10 minutes in the county final. It just shows you, great healer down there.
No doubt about it, yeah, no doubt about it. Well, many thanks to Jackson's Hotel, Barry Jackson and his staff for their support today. A disappointing day, unfortunately, for the Twin Towns team, McCool's, but thanks to Jackson's Hotel, and we appreciate their support, of course. And if you're organising for Christmas, they're certainly be glad to hear from you. Jackson's Hotel supporting us today with our county final. Here come McCool's again. Bernard McGeehan, who has been one of the better McCool players, but that's a poor ball in. Conor Curran loses possession, but the referee says he was fouled, and it's going to be another substitution now.
I didn't think McCool's actually. I might have ball that chipped into the field. A lot of silly things to think from. Last year's final tournament was disappointing. The tournament easily won that. This year again we did the same. Importantly, we've just been worried and watching all the standard football. There's a game that was the county player, and he's probably been he's after getting that ball again. He's the one player you would pick out.
No doubt about it. Brendan Boyle being tackled there by Conor Dowds. Sorry, in fact, it's Kenneth Doherty again. So hard to tell.
I've never seen two players.
They're so similar.
Yeah, their shoulders and everything. They're well built, both of them.
They are two big, strong fellas, no doubt about that. Ball out. Damien Dever plays it soccer style along the ground there to Jonathan Boyle, showing his class. Damien Dever yet again. Jonathan Boyle holding up possession. We're going to have 2 minutes of injury time. It's all pretty academic now because Ardara lead by 1-9 to 4 points. Across it goes here to one of their substitutions. The ball goes in. Not a good ball in. You have to say it was Darren Maguire. Even Macaulay plenty of space to come out. And he gives it out to Morris Lafferty. Disappointing day for McCool's in their first county final for many years, but good to see them in a county final, and hopefully they're going to be able to build on this. Semi-finalists last year, finalists this year, and as you said, Martin McHugh, important that the big towns in the county get and produce better teams.
That's exactly it. That's the most important. I'm just thinking about their return with Ardara midfield. The Ulster club will be a good test and see how they perform.
No doubt about that. There's another shot coming in. Conor Curran watching it. It was from Shane McNulty. McCool's will be disappointed obviously losing the final when you get to a final, but if you look at what they've achieved this year, it's an awful it's been an outstanding year for them. But credit to Ardara, they were drawn against the county champions Four Masters in the first round, lost their home leg, and most people wrote them off then. They beat St Eunan's who became favourites when Four Masters went out. So you know, you have to say Ardara have done it the hard way and are going to be deserving champions.
Yeah, they've done a lot of work, and John McConnell's worked with a lot of these players up through underage, and he's worked with them, and it's great for him. The amount of work, he's just Mr. Ardara. He lives, eats, sleeps, drinks football. That's his whole interest in life is football, and you know the work he's put in and everything else. And I mean, you take a club team going down to training in Virginia and everything else, so no stone left unturned, and that's why when you go out, even your favourites work, you out and you do the homework done, things work out.
No doubt about that. Tom Comac has positioned himself close to the Ardara dugout. We'll be going to him very shortly for immediate after-match reaction, and he'll be getting reaction on the pitch as well, so stay with us here. It's a minute gone of injury time. We're going to have 2 minutes. Ardara are going to be the champions. Andrew Boner taking the free, but I think the Ardara players were a little too close. The whistle's gone.
He kicked it off his own player. He hit Paddy McNulty.
Yeah, but too close. Paddy McNulty plays it across here to Conor Dowds. Good sized crowd today. We almost around 5,000. I would have thought the stand was pretty much full. It takes 5,000, maybe slightly more than that even, because there's still a good sprinkling of people around the ground as well. Here comes Stephen McHugh, who struggled in the early stages against Bernard McGee, but certainly improved as things went on. He plays the ball up to young Conor Concar, who looks a lively player as well. He plays the ball nicely back here to Darren McGee. Darren McGee, who had an effort on goal earlier, wasn't too successful, and he's not too successful on this occasion. The wide count for Ardara must be over 20 at this stage.
It's very worrying, but I mean, the other thing is worrying is they score them all. I mean, the crowd are leaving now. They've been gone at half time, most of the crowd. But it's interesting, so they've had a lot of wides. It's something that they'll, you know, after celebrations tonight and tomorrow they'll have to work with.
Let's go to Tom Comac right away. He's down at pitch side. It's a wonderful day for Ardara. Tom Comac racing out there to try and get a quick word with the Ardara management. The management team are embracing John McConnell down there. Tom, straight over to you there.
Great work for today. Again, the Donegal to come up to the first area where he will see his battle for referee. The winner of the outside draw is running easy from Lebanon. They are running easy. They will proceed with the way used the presentation area. To receive the Dr. Award of Higher Award from here in Canada.
How are you doing? Well, not too bad. Great together.
Initial continuation from the Agile Accord and Conway, Cahill and Donegal, and Corin and Dr. Kabir, Captain, Foreign, Ardara, Damien and Liver, Cahill Accord and Conway.
Wales while there's for Wales the renewal of Wales the sun touch to the country, a renewal the back and the hand of Sean, the top of the hope and the clean, and we give it to Sean in the new. While I'm at the Haria and Wales the renewal, the RTE radio in the field of them, and the Shields Brigade, as a collie of the Yanu and a crave of Mena, a small as head of head lad, and a lot of the Embrya, of his skinja, the hook, RTE in the field of the and hockey of them in Mena, of his mobile, the village, or me as a new daughter. I would like to thank the referee and his officials for the refereeing and looking after our match here today. Thank you very much. I know that the conditions out there were difficult, but it's a credit to both teams that they were able to play such a very good game, and I'm delighted that it is a showpiece here today, and I thank both teams for the effort they put in all year. But at the end of the day, we have one winner, and this day now belongs to Ardara, and it's my pleasure to present the Doctor of World Cup to the captain of the Ardara team.
Stop crying, John. Right, lad, look at 3 minutes. John, hey, lad. John, look at 3 minutes.
Carl Conde, og en kontroller, Dan Arnohus, og Colin Sean Blacker, er sånn butcher Ardara, og det Keep it going. Chairman of the County Board, and fellow Gaels, we came and we conquered. It gives me mighty pleasure today, boys, to accept this cup on behalf of the parish of Ardara and the magnificent Ardara team. Start out in February and the muck down in Kentucky. And boys, I want to just say first of all, thanks to this great team that fought hard all year round when the chips were down, against all them great things we come through here until we get to the final today. And boys, that's what it came down to, was them hard. That's what made it happen here today, was coming through all them tough little games. And I want to say first, thanks to the team behind me, boys, for that. No! Secondly, when in County Donegal, when you get a gang like you out in front of us that comes down, and again, boy, and them mighty games that we came through, the hard games, has used to carry us through them today, and carry us through again today. To selectors, Larry, Eddie, Lukey, you came every day to train, Eddie to the boys out in Dublin, and a big thank you to them. So man, that heads all that, and leads us every day, and gives us the confidence to go out and play the football that we can in Ardara. He said at the AGM he left no stone unturned, and my God, he didn't. John McConnell! Two teams contest the final. Today it was our lucky day, and another day will be McCool's. I want to say 3 cheers for McCool's, please. Hop hop! Hey! Hop hop! Hey! Hop hop! Hey! For me Lions!
Haven't changed, had much to say, but man, I still think them cats are crazy. They were asking if you were around, how you was, where you could be found. I told them you were living downtown, driving all the old men crazy. The boys are back in town, boys are back in town. I said, the boys are back in town. Chick that used to dance a lot, every night she'd be on the floor shaking what she'd got. Man, when I tell you she was cool, she was red hot. I mean, she was steaming. And that time over at Johnny's place, well, this chick got up and she slapped Johnny's face. Man, we just fell about the place. If that chick don't want to know, forget her. The boys are back in town, the boys are back in town. I said, the boys are back in town. pleasure here again.